FBI, federal agent. You don't stop me like this, sir. I'm FBI, federal agent. You don't stop me like this, all right? No, you don't need anything. You already messed up. Step back. You think your badge means something to me? Listen, don't tell me to listen. You're done, sir. Step back. This isn't over. You just crossed the line, sir.
It was 2:29 p.m. on a chilly December afternoon, the sky over Phoenix streaked with pale winter sun cutting through the hazy clouds. Officer Daniel Morrison, badge number 4729, parked his black and white patrol vehicle at the corner of 7th Avenue and Camelback Road, the metallic click of the doors sounding louder than usual against the empty street. The temperature read 56 degrees Fahrenheit on the dashboard, a sudden chill in the air after a brief warm spell. "License and registration, please," Morrison called out, his voice calm but authoritative as he approached the driver's side window. Inside the gray sedan, Dr. Vanessa Mitchell adjusted her white lab coat, the pharmacy badge pinned neatly to her chest catching the weak afternoon light. "Officer, may I ask why I'm being stopped?" she said, her voice steady but edged with concern. Her BWC 300 body camera blinked silently, recording every motion. "I received a call about a suspicious vehicle matching your description," Morrison replied, glancing down at his notebook before looking back up at Vanessa. "I need to see some ID." Vanessa's hands rested on the steering wheel, fingers tightening around the leather. "Am I being detained?" she asked, her voice unwavering. "Under the Fourth Amendment, you need reasonable suspicion. Terry v. Ohio requires articulable facts. What crime do you suspect me of?" Morrison's partner, Officer Rachel Brennan, badge number 8843, was recording from the passenger side, her BWC capturing Vanessa's expression shifting from calm professionalism to mild confusion. The store's 4-camera Hikvision CCTV from the nearby convenience shop across the street provided a wide-angle view of the traffic stop, capturing the tense standoff from above. The conversation escalated as Morrison leaned slightly closer, the afternoon sun glinting off his badge. "Sir, ma'am, I just need to verify your identification." "I'm happy to cooperate with lawful requests, officer," Vanessa replied, "but you have no warrant, no probable cause, and I do not consent to a search of my vehicle." Her tone was firm, yet controlled, the subtle tremor in her voice betraying the stress of the moment. The metallic click of Morrison's handcuffs echoed from his belt, and he paused, glancing at Brennan, who kept recording silently. The side-angle feed from Brennan's body camera captured the exchange with crystal clarity, the tense shoulders, Vanessa's jaw clenched, and the faint frost of her breath in the December air. By 2:33 p.m., the tension was palpable. A nearby delivery driver paused, recording with his phone from across the street, adding a 5th camera angle to the mix. The scenario, seemingly routine, had already drawn the attention of bystanders, some curious, some wary. Vanessa's mind raced. She had spent 15 years as a licensed pharmacist in Phoenix, with a spotless record, community recognition, and multiple degrees in pharmacology. Her practice at Desert Bloom Pharmacy had earned local awards, and her volunteer work included organizing medication drives for underprivileged neighborhoods. She was calm under pressure, but this stop was different. Morrison's approach felt personal, like he knew something about her that she didn't. At 2:35 p.m., Morrison asked again for ID, his tone slightly sharper. Vanessa responded using factual assertion, "My name is Vanessa Mitchell. I'm an American citizen born in Houston, Texas. My credentials are displayed inside my vehicle and on my person. Everything here is lawful and documented. Am I free to go?" The pause was brief, but heavy. The store's overhead CCTV camera showed customers freezing mid-conversation, heads turned toward the traffic stop. Morrison's camera captured his own hands gripping the patrol car door, knuckles white with tension. Without warning, Morrison stepped closer, his voice raising slightly. "Ma'am, I need you to step out of the vehicle." Vanessa exhaled slowly. "I respectfully decline to consent, officer. You do not have probable cause. This is a violation of my Fourth Amendment rights." Brennan's camera from the side recorded Vanessa's posture, her shoulders squared, eyes steady, as Morrison reached for the handcuffs. The click of metal against metal signaled the shift from verbal confrontation to physical escalation. From the passenger side, Brennan whispered into her radio, "Dispatch, 2-29 traffic stop, requesting backup. Suspect refusing consent, bodycams active." Vanessa remained calm but internally braced for what could come next. She knew the law, her rights, and the proper procedures. Yet as the metallic click of the handcuffs drew near, she also felt the unmistakable weight of fear, controlled, but real. Early engagement CTA, 2:40 p.m. Before we continue, where are you watching from? If this is your first time here, please subscribe. Stories like these need to be heard, and your support helps us share the truth about citizens' rights. By the end of this video, you'll understand how constitutional protections work during traffic stops, and what steps are legally available when facing unlawful detention. By 2:42 p.m., the chill in the air had intensified, wind gusting lightly down Camelback Road, ruffling Vanessa's coat. Officer Brennan's camera caught the subtle tremor of her partner's hands as Morrison adjusted his radio. The store's overhead CCTV captured the entire scene from a wide angle, Vanessa in her sedan, Morrison hovering near the driver's door, Brennan standing by the passenger side, and several onlookers lingering across the street. Vanessa took a deep breath, grounding herself. Her career had taught her the importance of calm, measured responses under pressure. "Officer Morrison," she said, her voice steady, "please state your reason for requesting that I exit the vehicle." "I am exercising my Fourth Amendment rights. Terry v. Ohio requires specific articulable facts for detention." "What crime do you suspect me of committing?" Morrison hesitated, glancing at his notebook. I just received a call about a suspicious vehicle matching your description." "Suspicious how?" Vanessa asked, leaning slightly back, hands visible on the steering wheel. "Am I free to go if there's no probable cause?" Brennan's BWC captured the moment from the side angle, showing Morrison's jaw tightening. Meanwhile, the side-angle feed from a bystander's phone displayed Vanessa's face in sharp focus, her eyes unwavering despite the cold and tension. At 2:45 p.m., Morrison's voice hardened. "Step out of the vehicle now." "I do not consent," Vanessa replied, remaining seated, calm but firm. "I am willing to cooperate with lawful instructions, but I cannot consent to a search or detention without probable cause or a warrant." The store's 4-camera Hikvision system recorded from multiple angles, showing a pedestrian stopping mid-step to watch, the faint click of a bicycle bell audible in the background. The December sun glinted off the sedan's hood, creating streaks of orange across Vanessa's determined expression. By 2:47 p.m., Morrison had reached for his handcuffs. The metallic click echoed as Brennan's camera captured every detail, the rough grip, Vanessa's calm but alert posture, the visible frost of her breath, and the tension in the air. Vanessa raised her hands slowly, palms outward, speaking in a measured, factual tone. "My name is Dr. Vanessa Mitchell. I am licensed in the state of Arizona. Everything here is lawful and documented. Please explain your authority for detaining me." The first physical contact came when Morrison grasped her wrist lightly, attempting to guide her out of the vehicle. Vanessa shifted subtly, her hand staying visible. "Officer, you are exceeding your authority," she said, referencing the Fourth Amendment, and this is based on an anonymous call with no corroboration. At 2:50 p.m., a neighbor's Ring doorbell recorded the scene from the sidewalk. The camera's audio picked up the low hum of traffic and the distant clatter of a trash truck, blending with Morrison's terse instructions. Brennan whispered into her radio, "Backup requested. Subject refusing to exit vehicle. All BWCs active." Vanessa's mind raced, mentally reviewing her rights. She remembered Graham versus Connor regarding excessive force and knew that any escalation without cause could constitute a violation. She remained seated, voice firm but polite. "I request that you state the legal justification for each action. I will not resist, but I cannot consent to an unlawful detention." By 2:52 p.m., the confrontation escalated. Morrison's demeanor shifted, his hands tightened on the cuffs, his posture leaning forward. "I said step out," he barked. Vanessa stayed calm. "Am I being detained? What crime am I suspected of?" "I want to speak to my attorney," she asked, invoking her rights under the Fifth Amendment and due process. The store's overhead CCTV captured the tense scene from above, a mix of sunlight and shadows across the street, onlookers pausing mid-step, and the subtle reflection of the police lights flickering on nearby windows. The bystander recording added a third camera angle, showing Morrison's face in sharp profile and Vanessa's hands resting on the wheel. The physical struggle remained minimal, controlled, but implied. Morrison's hand gripped her wrist with enough force to signal escalation, while Vanessa's posture communicated compliance but resistance to unlawful action. The metallic click of handcuffs was audible again at 2:54 p.m., a sound that would later echo in court as a critical piece of evidence. At 2:55 p.m., Vanessa spoke directly to both officers. "I understand your duty, but your actions are exceeding legal limits. I am citing 42 U.S.C. Section 1983 and the Fourth Amendment in anticipation of any violations." The side-angle BWC captured Morrison's reaction, a flicker of hesitation in his eyes. Brennan's camera recorded the interaction, noting Vanessa's controlled voice and the visible tension in the officer's stance. By 2:57 p.m., the first witness approached. A delivery driver parked across the street, his phone held steady, capturing yet another angle. The audio recorded the faint squeak of shoes on tile inside the store, distant conversation, and the occasional car passing by. The presence of a witness created an additional layer of accountability that would later prove critical in court. Vanessa continued, citing her professional credentials, "I am a licensed pharmacist with 15 years of experience. My work is regulated and inspected. I request a supervisor be present before any further action is taken." Morrison's response was terse, almost defensive, "Supervisor en route. Step out now." His body language, caught on multiple cameras, suggested authority but also impatience. At 3 p.m., the tension reached its peak. The metallic click of the handcuffs came again, this time lightly resting against her wrist as Morrison tried to assert control. Vanessa's expression remained resolute. The wind rustled through nearby trees, the December chill biting at exposed skin, adding a sensory element to the confrontation. Mid-story engagement moment, 3:02 p.m. Should officers be allowed to detain a citizen without probable cause based solely on an anonymous tip? This isn't just about Dr. Mitchell, it's about whether the Fourth Amendment protects all Americans equally. Comment below with your thoughts. This sequence sets up the full escalation, showing physical, legal, and emotional tension, with multiple camera angles, timestamps, and sensory details. The next part will continue with arrest, patrol car statements, booking, and the beginning of legal proceedings, moving toward courtroom drama and eventual resolution. 5 days after her release, Dr. Vanessa Mitchell reflected on the ordeal that had unfolded during that traffic stop. What began as a routine call escalated into an unlawful detention, multiple constitutional violations, and a court case that highlighted the importance of citizens' rights. The evidence from body cameras, CCTV, and bystander recordings not only cleared her name but also revealed a pattern of overreach by Officer Morrison, leading to his termination and significant departmental reforms. The federal lawsuit under 42 U.S.C. Section 1983 resulted in a $3.2 million settlement, including compensatory and punitive damages, covering legal fees, emotional distress, and policy reform initiatives. Her case inspired training programs for officers across Arizona, emphasizing proper procedures, reasonable suspicion, and respect for the Fourth and First Amendments. Vanessa's advocacy didn't stop there. She established a nonprofit to educate citizens about their rights during encounters with law enforcement and regularly consults on civil rights training programs nationwide. If you believe that standing up for your rights matters, that constitutional protections should be respected, and that courage under pressure deserves recognition, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Tomorrow, we'll share another story where ordinary citizens confront injustice with knowledge, patience, and resilience. Because the truth, recorded and vindicated in court, reminds us all, the people grant power to government, not the other way around.